Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Ann Cowan. I'm one of the career counselors and associate directors at the Bates Center for Purposeful Work. And I'm here today with Shane Ward, Bates class of 2021, to share a conversation about summer experience, resiliency, and pivoting. Shane, thank you for taking the time with me today to share your experience. I think our conversation can be helpful for others in your situation today and in the future.
Absolutely, thank you.
In April, you wrote a LinkedIn post to weary LinkedIn job searchers, partly in response to a second summer in a row of difficult internship searches. So what did you learn from your experience last summer that you're carrying forward? Can you tell us about the pivot you made personally during the summer last year?
Yeah, so the main thing that happened last summer that I took away for this summer was that it's perhaps, and what I tried to get at in the LinkedIn post, is that it's not always better to have a job than not have a job. So last summer, the position I worked in wasn't ever my first choice. And overall, I found the work quite difficult. It wasn't what I wanted to do, and that could be really hard on morale. So this year, I really doubled down on my efforts to find a better job that was more suited to what I was interested in. And of course, everything that's happened, that's been another very difficult year of applications. What I ended up doing at the end of last summer, and this was really where the inspiration for the post came, was I ended the summer by focusing on more personal projects, developing skills and focusing more on academic passions, so that I could take something away from the summer that wasn't just this negative experience with the job. And I really found that the most engaging parts of last summer were the parts of the summer when the job was over, which I obviously hadn't intended for. So in those last couple of weeks when my job had finished, I worked on doing things like sharpening my language skills in German before I came back to Bates. I started to prepare to launch my first club at Bates based on an experience I'd had earlier in the summer, and just began to network with professionals sort of earlier on. And when I write my cover letters now, those are the sort of things I tend to mention over that job. And that post was really just sort of to say, particularly helped me as a professional. So for those this summer who might be struggling to get a job, it's really not the end of the world.
So you have a new approach this year to your use of LinkedIn. Can you tell us about how you're using the LinkedIn community this year?
Yeah, so a little over a month ago, I started with the free premium trial of LinkedIn, just to sort of use some of the extra free time I had to expand my network and look for new opportunities going into this very unique summer we're about to enter. And at the beginning, I just started by engaging with people, liking and commenting posts, mostly professionals in the fields I was interested in, who worked at companies that I would like to work for. Just leaving comments, sending personalized requests, trying to find times to chat and find out about their career trajectories. And I really started with people in the Bates community. So I've had a couple of informational chats with Bates alumni, just to find out about how they entered the fields that I want to enter when they graduated college. And on a different perspective, I started joining communities of people who I had no idea who they were, I'd never met before, just other young professionals out there. One community, One Salting, is a particular one that's been really influential. It's just a lot of young professionals, college students, working together, sharing experiences, creating posts, creating content, and just generally interacting with each other. And that's what really prompted me to start posting myself, the posts you mentioned, just sharing those experiences and things that we hope other people can learn and relate to, especially in these sort of crazy times. And that's seen a really good response for me. I've had a lot of engagement, a lot of messages and requests from people. It's been really fun to sort of build this community of people who I would otherwise never meet, and they're becoming sort of close friends almost.
That's neat. So in that post to weary job searchers in April, you mentioned your own goal of learning more coding,
Yes.
and you asked readers what they would do to enhance their summers. What have been some of the interesting responses to your post in that? What have been creative solutions that people plan to do to enhance their summers?
Yeah, so quite a few people who responded to that actually had similar sort of goals. So one way I'm hoping to achieve the target I set out was through taking online classes, totally free online classes through colleges like Harvard. And a lot of people responded saying they were planning on doing the same thing, just to sort of build skills which they might be missing out on through not having an internship. Coding in particular, I felt was something that looking at a career in political science was something that was really lacking from my skill set, and something which I hoped that I could learn and apply in some sort of project and show future employers that I was still learning skills during this period of time. Other people responded saying they were creating small businesses, they were just reading more books. So it was really sort of a diverse response, but people really liked the vulnerability and the learning experiences I think that I tried to bring across in the post. I think people found that really relatable, which was nice, particularly in the international community. That's something else I've posted about a few times, and I got a lot of requests from international students after that. And I'm by no means an expert, but just asking about how I've managed the situation with regard to visas and those worries that are particular to international students at this time.
Yeah, thank you. That's great sharing. And I think you're right about the vulnerability. All of us are in a new situation. And so the more we can share about what we are finding for solutions, the more helpful we can be to each other. I agree. So looking forward, this fall, you'll be a senior at Bates. What are your plans to continue exploring work opportunities this fall?
Yeah, so looking forward, my sort of journey is definitely shaped by the fact that I'm an international student. So I do have a lot of visa concerns and general concerns, like everyone, looking forward to that very uncertain job climate of the next year or so. I imagine I'll start my process in the fall the way I started this process. So definitely leveraging Purposeful Work and the people at Purposeful Work, the Purposeful Work internship program, the power of the Bates alumni, and the networks I've built up through the networking on LinkedIn we talked about, hoping to leverage some of those connections and hoping to get some opportunities out of those. I talked about Purposeful Work. Definitely the Purposeful Work staff have been just so instrumental in this whole process for me the last few months, especially Peter Osborne as a politics major. Pretty much everything I've done since December, he's really been there for me to guide me through that process. Every interview, every rejection, every cover letter, he's been so instrumental in that. So definitely leveraging those the fantastic people at Bates and beyond, and hoping that those relationships really blossom into something.
Very good. Well, thank you for that. It sounds like a good plan, and we're here to help all along the way. Shane, thanks for your time today and for sharing your story and your thoughts and how you have dealt with a couple of summers of unplanned experiences. Appreciate your time very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.